conference opponent.
Tony, I know you weren't the coach, but 2 years ago was a similar situation when you played San Jose the week after Reno and came out flat. How do you guard against that this week?
Yeah, it's funny. I was listening earlier this week to Frank Solich talking about that and about, how hard it is to get your guys up each and every week. And that really is a task. I mean, you get your guys an emotional high, and we've been through it, in a bunch of weeks in a row. Even some of those road games, the first home game and, the beginning of the year. I mean, it's been a grind emotionally, but that's part of building a program. Our guys have to be, we've talked about it all week, we're developing competitive maturity, and then that's part of it, not getting too high, not getting too low, learning how to be even-keeled and go about doing your business. And the guys will be ready to go Saturday. I have full faith in them.
Tau and Jake, just how tough is that after such an emotional game to refocus on the next opponent?
It's every week. It's after a win, we got to just refocus. Like you said, we got to come back and just start preparing for San Jose. We got to just move on. We got to leave that in the past and focus on what's coming up.
Oh, yeah, like Coach Sanchez, like Jake said, after a win, we can celebrate that night or celebrate that win and, we just move on. We got to focus on the next team, so that's how it is.
You, right after the game, one of the first things you said is we'll celebrate for an hour on Monday and paint it. There was a tweet on Sunday night, the football program saying on to San Jose and stuff. When you were trying to build a winner, how at Gorman, you didn't have to respond to losses very much. So how do you get in mindset of kids responding to wins the right way and being able to go forward? Is that a big part of building winners?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's true. And one of the things that we talked about with the team is, to be honest, sometimes it's just more difficult to deal with success than it is failure. I mean, it's hard, and that's why it's so difficult to consistently be at the top for a long period of time, because people get complacent. I always say you're never as good as they say you are, and you're never as bad. So keep grinding away. So again, it's putting everything in perspective. Say, great, we got to win. Everyone's excited. We're fired up about it. But then you go right back to the process. And some of those cliches, I say it all the time, stay the course. It really is what it's about. It's getting right back into the process of watching film and working, alignment, assignment technique, fanatical effort, footsteps, hand placements, where are your eyes. I mean, when you focus on the details, I think it calms guys down and they realize that, wow, we're getting right back to work. And if you watch our guys coach, and it's not just me, it's everybody out there, I mean, immediately you walk on the field, it's intense, it's purposeful, it's a million miles an hour, and immediately the guys know that, okay, well, I guess, they're not worried about last week. It's a new task.
You won't answer this, nor should you, but you should be happy, I guess, that ESPN has you in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Now, that's this week, and I know you'd never answer that, but before the season started, all kind of the national recognition was about you. When you hear that someone actually thinks that you might be good enough, is that good? Is that some of the parts you're looking for, that maybe somewhere across the nation that there will be recognition that good things are happening here? I mean, is that important to you?
Well, it's important because you're recruiting. And when people are talking about you and it's a positive light, and it's not just, the high school guy that got a college job, and it's about performance, and it's about success, and it's about winning and bringing the cannon home, and those things are about my boys, and that's the most important thing, and I've told them from the beginning that this game's never been about coaches. It's always been about players, and it always will be. So I'm proud of those guys for the things that they've done, and the most important place is here in our community. I mean, when we run out against San Jose, we need to have 30,000 people in that stadium rocking, and if they do that, that's the type of recognition we're looking for. People to get excited and jazzed about the program, where it's going, the hard work and sacrifice these young men are making, and the impact that we can have on this entire community.
Coach, after last week, are you calling out all the fans, all the Rebel fans, the community, get out there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, on social media, yesterday I sent something out. Let's pack Sam Boyd Stadium. You're going to see me tweet it out again today. I'm talking about it right now. I'm going to be on the radio later this week talking about it. And, I mean, we're really going to challenge our fans. There's a lot of people out here that have waited a long time for us to be successful. We're not there yet. We've won 2 games. We got a long ways to go. But we need as many people as possible to jump on board. It's the greatest game in the world. And you look at the popularity of college football and football in general. I mean, it's really taken over sports, and we want this to be a big deal. Basketball season is a big deal here at UNLV and always will be. We want football season to be big too. We want 2 powerful engines going at the same time.
It seems that the preseason San Diego State was picked to win the West, and everyone's looking at all these teams, Reno, and they just assume people will be good, but it almost seems, just looking at scores, comparative scores, that San Jose State sneakily might be kind of the team. They seem to be able to score with most people. The back is good. I mean, have you seen that on film?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people talk about them, but all of a sudden you look at these scores, you know they lose teams against the people they play that they actually seem to be very decent.
No doubt. I mean, you go on the road to Auburn and and I don't care what year it is, Auburn's a good football team. You lose by 14 on the road, that's tough. And, Irvin, like you talked about, he is the number one all-purpose yards guy in the country. So that's a big task. We've talked to the team all week. This is going to be a tough ball game, but they're all going to be from here on out. But San Jose presents some challenges. They do a great job, obviously, of feeding Irvin. And, their backup quarterback came in, and he's done a great job, been very efficient. We definitely got our task cut out for us, and we've got to play better, throughout the entire course. I think we probably played our best half of offensive football in the first half against Reno. When you look at yards and such, however, we need to put more points on the board. We turn the ball over in the red zone. Those are things we can't do. And then, we've got to come out and do that again in the second half. So it's there'll be challenges, but each week there will be.
They haven't announced their starting quarterback. Is it to affect your preparation?
It really doesn't. I mean, they've continued to run their offense the exact same way. So you'll tweak it a little bit. The guy's in there now is a little bit more of an athlete, a little bit more of a runner. So you got to be a little bit more conscious of that. But, regardless, it's, we'll still be a sound.
What about on your end? Do you tweak your offense to take advantage of Kurt's strengths?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there'll be more preparation with him, obviously, in running the full slate of offense. Again, I've said it a bunch. He gets a third of the reps, being the backup. Now he gets that, 66% of them. And we'll tweak it a little bit. Obviously, he's an athlete. There's no mystery. People know that, he's a good runner. And every time he's come in, he's done some good things with his feet. So we just need to get him going, and we need to do some things that will allow him to build some confidence so he can go out there and throw the ball. We've struggled throwing the ball, as of late. And if we're going to continue to win football games, we can't be so one-dimensional.
It's easy to look at the quarterback and say that's why you've struggled with passing game. How much of the receivers not getting open? How much of it maybe the protection? Is it what you want it to be?
It's everything. I mean, it's it's coaching. It's players performing. It's guys taking advantage of opportunities. We've had drop balls this year. We've had bad reads. We probably had some bad play calls. We probably had. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. So we're not at a point now where you point one finger and say this is why it's not happening. We just got to be more consistent. And let's face it, we've played some tough defenses. Now I think when you look back and you're like, okay, yeah, some of the defenses we played have been tough. And again, early in the year we played a bunch of two-man free because we just weren't as physical at the point of attack. Now that's starting to balance itself out, and we got to take advantage of the opportunities we get in the passing game.
Do you see the issues you have as being fixable?
Absolutely. Hey, there's always a way to get things done, and again, our ultimate goal, and I know that I could care less about stats. I could care less. If we're the number one offensive team or last, we want to win. That's the only stat that makes a difference. So I think we've done a good job of merging what we do well offensively, defensively, and special teams and finding a way to win, and that's one of the biggest things we talked to the staff about when we first got here was, hey, you know what, we don't care how we win. We don't care if we win ugly, we want to win. And we're finding ways to do that. And you look, I believe we're number 2 in the conference now in time of possession. I don't know if there's a single game we've played this year where we haven't won time of possession, and that's very purposeful.
Tony, I was looking down through the series, the San Jose State UNLV series started back. We had some 1981 footage. I was thinking, what were you doing in 1981 when these two schools first met?
Wow, I was living in Livermore, California. So in '81, I was born in '74, so that make me 7 years old. So I was probably playing light pole to light pole football on the street, running the button hook on the red truck. So yeah, that's a long time ago. Been to some games there though. Yeah.
Do you feel confident that you'll, like you said, you get 66% of the snaps? Almost like it seems like the best thing he did in the second half is he didn't make any mistake. He didn't go into pressure and turn the ball over and do something that would have turned the tide. Do you feel confident you will go with him 100%, or is it a situation where you will try to put him in position where that won't happen and you allow your defense to try to dictate, or do you have to go and say, look, you have to do everything?
You know what? We're gonna ask him to attack. We are not going to take the seat of, hey, let's manage him and not allow him to make a mistake. Nah, we got confidence in Kurt, and I think our whole team does. He's still a young guy. He's a sophomore. Now he'll get his first opportunity to walk out there, snap one, and be the guy, and we're going to give him full reign. I mean, obviously, we'll tweak a couple of things around his skill sets, but we want him to attack. We're going to throw the football. We'll probably throw the ball more this game than we have in the last couple because we need to get that part of the game going. And I really think that, regardless of the outcome, and I have faith in our team, I think he's going to go out and play a great game. I really do.
And Tau, your coach mentioned Tyler Irvin. What is it about him that makes him so good?
The kid, he's really fast and he's quick, and he just knows how to find holes. And so we got to prepare really well this week for him. Not just for him, but their entire team. So yeah, we'll do that, and we'll see. Come ready for Saturday.
He had a big game last year against you guys, right?
Yeah.
So does that help as far as you have?
Oh yeah, that we kind of have a little taste of how he is. So yeah, we'll be more prepared and stuff.
Any injury update?
Obviously, you got Blake, and he's got his non-throwing shoulder, so he'll, like I said, early in the week he'll be suited up and he'll be available to be our third guy. But Kurt's going to go, regardless of how he feels going into the game. But so Blake will be there, ready to go. And other than that, we're good.
Fred's back.
He's back. Yeah, he's back. He practiced today. He's probably at about 85% right now. But hopefully by game time he'll be at 100. But he practiced a full day today. Yeah.
What about David Green?
Well, we'll see. I don't know. He had a concussion last week, and I think he aggravated it celebrating during the game. That's what I heard. I don't know. So hopefully we get him back. It was kind of an interesting deal.
Sounds good. At least one.
Yeah.
Were you confident you would scale that apparatus you jumped over?
Yes, I made a decision that I was going to go for it. I just didn't want to live in infamy on YouTube, so I had to land it.
Were you, for either player, were you guys running behind him at that stage? Did you
Ready to catch him?
Did you see him kind of make the beeline there and oh man?
No, I wasn't around. I was too busy celebrating with other teammates, but I definitely saw the highlight of it. It surprised me.
Cameramen on the live stream, they made sure that they had that captured.
I appreciated everyone that came to the game. I just wanted to let them know that.
That's always been a thing with you. Even I remember post-Gorman games and going to say, hey, grab a quote real quick, we're on deadline, they just let me go approach the fans. Is it starting to feel like that, the appreciation?
You know what? This is the greatest game in the world. I mean, look at what I do for a living. Are you kidding me? I'm a college football coach. And just it's a fun job, to spend time with these young guys. It keeps you energetic, when you have a community that's rallying around you and they're excited and you're fiery and, all that hard work comes at the end of the week and you win a game. It's exciting. You know what? I've never been bashful, letting people know how excited I am to be doing what I do. And, and those wins are hard to come by. So I genuinely appreciate everyone that comes out and supports us because these guys work so darn hard in the classroom, in our community, on the football field. When they go out and get a win, it sure is nice to share it with someone. And we talk to them all the time. Life is not about you. It's really about surrounding yourself with people you care about so that when you do have success, there's someone to share it with. That's probably the best thing.
I know I kind of touched on this a little bit, but do you start thinking if you win this game, you're 3-3?
You don't think that at all. Right now, I'm just worried about throwing the first punch. That literally, it's that attitude. It's that, we talked today about punching in your time card and going to work, and and I've had jobs where I've had to do that before, and that's really what we're about. We want to be, and I think people are starting to realize we're a tough physical football team. We want to be the most violent team at the point of attack. So I'm not even thinking about winning. I'm thinking about that first 6 seconds of the game and us executing well on that first play and, again, throwing the first punch.
Any games, any memories you played against San Jose State at all?
Yeah, a couple. We played there at San Jose, and obviously they played at, they ended up beating us our senior year. They had a 2-minute drill that went down, and they scored. It was terrible. But anyways, yeah, those are memories.
It's a great field at San Jose State.
Huh?
It's a great facility down at San Jose State.
Yeah. It is.
I'm sure you remember that.
It hasn't changed since 81, has it?
Yeah, you know what? Coach Carragher's done a good job there. And you look at what they did a couple years ago. I mean, won a bunch of games. They got a solid program there, and they've recruited really well. You look at the recruiting classes the last bunch of years. It's a testament to him and his group of guys, and they're going to be a tough out. I mean, they're one of the better teams in the conference. They've got a lot of skill guys. We've got to do a great job of tackling. I mean, we're really playing well on defense. And sometimes the numbers don't always add up, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But man, I'll tell you what, our defense is playing lights out, but we can still get better at tackling, and that's something we've talked about a lot and we've put a lot of time in. So one of the key ingredients of that, of stopping all that talent is just, hey, make the tackle, get your butt back in the huddle. We got to continue to do that.
You were talking earlier off camera, you might not want to mention this, but you said they're bringing up memories. You were discussing the memory and facilities. You want to say anything about that again?
About facilities here? Yeah.
Your last game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I was making a joke about when I played at New Mexico State in our last game at the UNLV. When I first got to Gorham, when we walk in that locker room for the first state title, and it was the exact same locker room. It hadn't changed much. So, but you know what? They've done some great things. You look at Sam Boyd now, and you look at the new turf down there. Some of the stuff they've redone to the locker rooms, and there's a lot of things we're talking about. I mean, we need to build an on-campus football facility. That is going to become a big topic of conversation. We're going out and we're working hard to get some donors involved, and this can be a very, very special. It already is a special place, but it can be a great place if we invest in it.
Have you gotten feedback since the Reno game about the football facility from people who might be more interested in helping you with that?
I mean, again, people have shown interest even before that game. Again, we've got a plan, and we're attacking it right now.
Jake and Tau, I know yesterday's ceremony on campus, obviously with the cannon, was probably pretty something special for you guys. But I'm just curious, going around campus now, going to your classes, is there a buzz? Do you feel a buzz on campus surrounding this team after these 2 straight wins?
Definitely. Especially with the atmosphere yesterday around the cannon, the band playing when we were walking up with it. That was just something that you're going to remember for a lifetime, So, yeah, we're definitely walking around with our heads held pretty high right now.
Yeah, it's pretty great seeing all the fans and students cheering us on. It's great because we haven't seen that a lot. I mean, previous seasons, but it's really great because a lot more support. See a lot more people come to the games, and it'll be fun to see everyone there. So.
That's one of the biggest things I think we're going through right now, too, is teaching these guys how to handle it. I mean, it's great that the heads are up, and it's great that they're feeling good. That can disappear like that. So we've got to focus on this next game. We've got to be ready to go. Again, it's just getting right back into the process, and that's kind of where we're at right now. I mean, probably hasn't been too many, back-to-back, games, win the cannon, and now it's San Jose. It really is about that, right? So we want your heads held high after that last game, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
How important is it for the fans to come out?
It's huge. It's college football. It's a fun deal. I mean, again, I talked about last week, you're on the road, and I mean, man, they've got some momentum, and the crowd's rocking, and it's a definite advantage, and you see that needs to become our advantage. I mean, when San Jose comes in here, we need to have a rocking crowd. It's got to be a tough atmosphere to play in. You get those 3rd down and 4th down situations. We need to make sure their offense can't hear, and that's a fun thing to be a part of. I mean, it's going to be a beautiful day, and I said it yesterday. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't come out a couple hours before the game, bring your grill, bring your cooler, have some soda pops, come on in, cheer on the Rebels, and I mean, it's a great thing to be a part of. So we really want to create that atmosphere around here. I'm just sad I can't go join. I'll be busy.
All right. Good. Thanks very much.
Thanks.